else is gonna eat it.
Whatever you want to do. I don't need it anymore. Okay. What Hey, welcome to the Second Shift Review. I'm Ethan. Joining me as always is Gary and Roderick. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2016 American science fiction horror film 10 Cloverfield Lane, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, produced by J.J. Abrams, Lisney Weber, and written by Josh Campbell, Matthew Starkin, Damien Chazelle, starring John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and John Gallagher Jr.
That's a lot of writers.
It is. Let's start with our first impressions of the movie. Gary?
I thought the acting was really good, especially John Goodman as Howard. Did really well.
Okay.
I liked it. I would really recommend a lot of people watch it. It's real kind of spooky. Not like paranormal, just like this is weird.
Psychological.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was well directed. The story was good. Has good twists and turns. Just excellent movie. Well, I guess we'll move into our spoiler section.
Spoilers! They didn't get me that time.
I was prepared!
Yeah.
I'm ready. Never gonna get me again.
Oh!
Okay. Let's start off with the intro with her preparing to leave, and you don't hear why she's leaving. You just visually see it that she's leaving, and just music plays over everything. I thought that was really clever.
And she left like her wedding ring or engagement ring?
Yeah.
Wedding ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you see that, you're kind of like, okay, so she's leaving somebody.
Well, and then it has the phone call from Ben throughout there.
Her husband, fiance.
Yeah.
Her, who was
Lover.
Hidden Elements, played by Bradley Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
All he does is provide a voice, yes. And
Who's Bradley Cooper?
who's Bradley Cooper? Anyway, when she gets to the gas station filling up, and if you've seen it once and you watch it again, you see that Howard, the John Goodman character, pulls up in his truck and is watching her.
Mm-hmm.
And she noticed that he's watching her, but she doesn't see him.
Yeah.
She just sees that there's someone there watching her.
Yeah.
I noticed that the second time just because of the fact that he had that huge deal of keys there whenever, and they flicked those keys, and then I kind of rewound it, and I was like, but that took me a little while.
I noticed the truck, because I remember the truck from the end.
Yeah.
Pulls up and I'm like, oh, okay, he's right there. He sees her when he's getting gas.
Mm-hmm.
Then he runs her off the road.
Yeah.
And she wakes up. She doesn't know what's going on. I don't understand. He has her in her room, and he has her with a leg brace because she broke her leg.
Yeah.
But he has her cuffed to the pipe on the bed in a room that's locked already.
Well,
You mean what? Well,
it seems a bit overkill. Why?
Yeah, I think they
handcuff
just
her
wanted
to
to
it?
do that to add to the
It does.
atmosphere.
you also have to take into account that he was preparing for like doomsday the whole
true.
time, so he's probably like can't trust her, so gotta be like super sure she's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, and I
Plus
guess
he's pretty crazy.
if she gets out, it would he thinks it would contaminate everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then you're introduced to the second character, Emmett.
Who has goldfish.
Which, yeah. It doesn't explain exactly how he broke his arm. It just says that he broke it trying to get in.
Yeah. I would assume he got his arm smashed in the door.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Because they
he
said
shows
that he
up
was just about to shut the
and
door.
he's closing the door, and I think he stuck his hand in the door, and Howard just closed it. And Howard's carrying this body, and he's like, "I'll tell everybody that you got that body." That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He mentions that he works on satellites,
Mm-hmm.
which is a wink to something.
Mm-hmm.
His
And Goodman
keys-
works for that company too.
Yeah, he works for the Tegagato Corporation. Well, he works for what's it called?
Starts
that's
with a
it.
B.
The Bold Futura, which is owned by the Tegagato Corporation.
So.
And he was employee of the month.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was.
Did he get fired from that satellite company, or did he just quit on his own?
I think it mentions that he quits.
Okay.
I think somewhere
Okay.
because he's no longer working there.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned his keys. That he has everything on lockdown and padlocks and all the doors and everything.
Mm-hmm. Except his room.
Yeah, his room's just open.
Yeah. His room and all his drawers.
He's inviting people to come into his room and
Yeah.
test their boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're introduced, after she tries to break out, she gets almost to the door and almost gets out,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lady shows up who's clearly infected or something
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this is
it's
more to
like-
this story.
It's like, oh,
Maybe
so they're
he's not crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, okay, something is going on.
But then he keeps bringing up weird things like the Martians might be coming,
Yeah.
and then the genetically engineered worms,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't know what's going on.
I was thinking throughout that movie, whenever he started bringing that up, I thought that it was just a nuclear blast throughout the
Yeah.
first time that I
Mhm.
watched
That's what I
it.
thought too.
So
Well-
they did have me going with that one.
Emmett described it as just like a
Red flash.
Flash.
Yeah.
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 And then whenever they she's thinking that the whole thing's made up, and then he's like, "No, I saw it," and everything.
Mhm.
So they did.
He keeps mentioning Howard through the whole movie that it was an attack of some kind, biological or nuclear. So that you get that in your mind that, okay, I guess that is what's going on.
Yeah.
When the air purifier stops working, she has to crawl through the vent because the door's blocked.
Mm-hmm.
When she gets into that room, there's a letter on the ground that she steps on
Yeah.
that has all of Howard's information on it from the Tagagato Corporation and his address, which is 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that were really good in that was Howard, whenever he they had that game of charades
Yeah.
later on, and he was like playing Santa.
Yeah.
Like the mood that they set
Yeah,
there. That when he was playing Santa and then also before that, whenever
think-
the dinner that they had,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was just like, he has this attitude where he just won't put up with any crap,
Mm-hmm.
and he any kind of touching, any kind of fooling around, and then they start Emmett starts trying to talk about board games and just kind of social talking and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like takes it as complete disrespect.
Yeah.
Which also his attitude, he has this fatherly attitude with Michelle throughout it, and then Emmett, he has this
resentment.
yeah, and
just
that
the whole
really
time.
makes me
He's
also
like, I just hate you.
yeah, and
He
that
does not
definitely
want him there
Yeah.
at all.
Just shut up.
He's
Yeah.
just looking for any excuse.
like what y'all said about the arm getting
yeah.
just caught in there. That probably was right because Emmett helped him build that
Uh,
place, and then he was like, "Well, I'm gonna go in there," and then Howard was probably like, "Screw you," and just shut it.
yeah.
But the overall tone that they had there was really good with
Yeah.
with Howard. He did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And poor kitty cat jigsaw puzzle
Yeah.
missing an eye.
Yeah.
Kitty cat jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, he puts the jigsaw puzzle together for ever,
Yeah.
and he gets it together, and there's no more
It's like,
pieces, and there's
We're
pieces missing.
pieces.
And he's like, this poor kitty cat's going scuba diving and it doesn't have an eye.
Yeah.
After she gets and fixes the air purifier, she notices that someone has carved help into another entrance to the place.
On the inside.
On the inside.
Yeah.
Which bears the question, has he pulled this exact same scenario with another girl, except it wasn't real that time and it's real this time?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Now, what I kind of wondered was well, okay, after they get through with the whole with the carving being on the inside of that, she comes down and then she's talking to Emmett, and then they show him a picture, and they see that picture and like, nah, that's not Megan, that's Brittany, and she disappeared 2 years ago. So then I was kind of wondering, was Brittany, was that actually his kid that moved to Chicago with the mom?
No,
Or
Brittany was just some
Someone that lived
girl
in the
that
town.
lived in the town, and she went missing.
Because he explains his daughter's name's Emily. And she moved to
Megan.
Chicago.
Megan.
Was it
Right?
Megan?
Yes, Megan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she moved to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's also some viral marketing that there's a website that he set up that he's like in secret communication with his daughter, and he's pleading with her to come back and run away from her mother, to come back to the bunker, that it's almost too late, that he knows something's about to happen. But that could be just him trying to ploy her to come back, so
Yeah.
you never know. His character is... You don't know if he's crazy or if he's telling the truth, because some things happen, some things don't. It's
Yeah.
You never know with him. And then I want to say that the Santa Claus charades part tips him off to Emmett's up to something, or they're up to something.
Yeah.
Because right after that, he confronts them with the scissors and the stuff.
And the acid.
And the acid for satellites.
Yeah.
That he builds. And
I thought that scene where they're pulling the acid out is a pretty good scene.
Yeah, I thought that was really.
He's like,
really cool.
"Hey, come help me."
Yeah, he doesn't even say help me. He just says do it, move it now. And then he straight up murders in it.
He's like, "I accept your apology."
Bam.
Yeah, and he seems so calm.
Yeah,
whenever he's
nonchalant.
like, no, it's cool. That
I think he's just like, finally, I have an excuse to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he's like telling her that he did me wrong. He was gonna kill both of us. I had to do it.
It's like, this is how it was supposed to be.
Yeah. And then immediately after that, he shaves. He puts on nice clothes. His shirt's tucked in. He's all like proper, and he's all like, oh, I got some ice cream for you.
Yeah.
Super creeper.
Yeah, it's like cone or bowl.
You like bowl.
Yeah.
And then she luckily she had been building the gas mask and had a plan to escape. Yeah, the hazmat suit. Right then, because I don't think if she had that done, there's no way she would have been able to get out.
Yeah.
And then she manages to get free. He takes a lot of punishment.
Yeah. That like, she's like, is that how you repay me for saving your life and everything?
Yeah.
She's like, no, this is how I repay you. And then
she bashes him in the head and locks him in the room, which I guess he uses his keys to get out of the room.
I guess.
I don't know how he got out of the room particularly. I think it's the keys. And then she dumps the acid on him, and it burns like half his body.
He becomes Two-Face.
Yeah, half his head's gone, his arms just like skeletalized. And he's still coming.
Yeah.
And she dumps the whole rack of food on him, and he still gets up, and I'm just like, dude won't stop.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
He's like straight up crazy.
Well, that's the title of the film, or the tagline, that monsters come in many forms. So.
Okay.
Roll credits. Well, she finally gets out, and the biggest twist of the movie, she looks up, and there's some kind of alien monster creature flying through the air.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
She also figures out that she never did need that. She thinks it at first that she didn't
Yeah.
actually
And she
need
sees
it
the birds.
because she sees these birds flying over.
Yeah. And she's like, takes a chance.
One thing I liked, how they kind of like built up to it with the air duster to freeze off the lock. I thought that was...
he gave her the idea of
Yeah.
a way of escape.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thought that was
Perfectly.
pretty good.
Which, I mean, I don't know. She knocked him around a bunch. She could have stole his keys, but who knows? Like,
Yeah, I
he
mean,
just kept coming.
yeah.
And then she goes on her.
She
tries
kinda-
to escape.
Yeah. Once she escapes, she kind of screws herself over with like the heat and everything, like the explosives,
Yeah.
all that exploding.
Yeah, and sets it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she sets the car alarm off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Siri just keeps.
Like with that scene, I don't see why she didn't wait in that barn longer.
Yeah.
Cause like she clicks the alarm off, then she immediately is
Yeah.
going out there. It's like
I
that.
think she's too anxious to get
It's
out
like
of there.
that alien monster thing
A little
is
dog,
still
worm.
out
A
there.
lot of people say it's like a worm type creature because
Mhm.
it like kind of slithers a little bit.
Yeah.
Graboid.
It might be a land-based graboid. Who knows?
They're gonna link in the Graboid.
Tremor.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Oh man.
And then she gets sucked up by this giant flying creature,
Mhm.
but you think it's a spaceship at first.
Yeah.
The craziest thing, and like probably my favorite part of that, or the craziest part of that to me, is that once she gets sucked up by that huge monster, she looks in the back and there's a bottle of liquor, and she
Her
goes
bottle.
and makes a Molotov cocktail, and then kills this gigantic monster.
She notices when it first gives that gas blast that some of the fire that was coming out of the bunker gets set on fire a little bit, and it's combustible. So then she gets the idea, okay, it's going to release gas again, or it has gas inside it, so I can throw something in there and it'll blow up.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just thought that was the craziest thing, that she
It's a crazy
takes
idea.
it down with a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought it was a spaceship at first.
Yeah.
And then once you look at it, it's a giant flying creature that has like metal armor and flying parts on it.
Mhm.
And the first time I watched this, I assumed that it was an alien creature because he keeps mentioning aliens and Martians and stuff for the whole movie.
Mhm.
But connecting it with the other films, I'm thinking it's maybe just a creature from another reality crossed over.
Yeah. It could.
And maybe those parts are either put on it by something else,
Mhm.
or maybe it just grows those.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, at the end when she goes towards Houston in the lightning,
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
yeah,
the
a big
giant-
one.
Yeah, the huge.
Yeah.
you see the
another-
little one, and then the
You see a whole bunch of
huge
little
one.
ones over the city, and then you see a giant one.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah. Which they mentioned that they're killing them
Mhm.
and they're taking things back.
Mhm.
Does it mention how long she's down in that bunker?
I don't.
I don't think it
remember.
does.
So, I didn't
Yeah.
catch it if it
I didn't
did.
either.
Yeah.
He mentions early in the film that it's hard to tell how long you're down there because there's
Mhm.
no windows or anything,
Yeah.
and apparently it doesn't have any clocks or anything.
Yeah.
I guess we'll move into the. I didn't have anything wrong with the film. I couldn't find a fault particularly.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like something different could have been done,
Yeah.
but I don't know what. Really.
I really like that one.
I liked it a lot too.
I liked it
yeah,
a lot.
I just
too.
feel like
The overlining like tone on it
could
was
use
really
something.
good.
Yeah, could have had just something.
I don't know what that something would be, but just
Yeah.
something.
And it was a huge twist with them, like him actually being right about the air and a lot of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that was going on.
Still wonder if he's telling the truth or just happened to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's talk about some hidden elements in the movie. When she's getting gas, she gets gas at a Kelvin station, which has appeared in other films, and Kelvin is a reference to J.J. Abrams' great grandpa, who's like a big thinker and stuff, like well known. There's a reference to Slusho.
Oh,
Again,
I didn't
yeah,
catch
on
that
a-
That's in a lot of stuff. They have that in Star
where
Wars.
she's getting
too.
gas, there's a sign that says Slusho.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that in Star Trek. That's what I meant.
Yeah, it's in Star Trek. It's in basically all the Bad Robot productions somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned Bradley Cooper was the
voice.
boyfriend, husband.
Yeah.
The Tagagato was on the letter that he
Mhm.
worked for the Bold Futura, which produces satellites. Yeah. Anything else you found?
As far
Besides the him being employee of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Employee of the month.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of it, they had Megan written on the mailbox, and then there's also the Bad Robot symbol out in the grass.
Poster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the very beginning poster.
Let's give our final thoughts.
It's a good movie. Recommend everybody watch it. John Goodman does excellent in it, but like Roseanne's gotten like really weird.
Maybe that's where the new show takes place.
Yeah,
In a
that's in
bunker.
Cloverfield.
I
just
didn't mention Howard's last name is Stambler, which is not important now, but is important later.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gary, final thoughts?
I thought it was really good. It had a really good tone throughout the story, and how he was kind of trying to groom her and treat her like a kid.
Mm-hmm. I had mentioned that when they're playing the charades game, he mentions what he thinks she is, and he keeps mentioning a girl, a daughter, just
Little princess.
yeah. That's the way he sees her, which like gets a little bit into his mind.
Yeah.
I thought was interesting. I thought it was really good. I think everybody should watch it. Had good twists. Directed really good. Good story. Good links between this one and the last one. Yeah. So, Gary, what would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it 9 Molotov cocktails out of 10.
I will give it 7 out of 5 DIY gas masks.
I'll give it 8 out of 10 acid baths.
Yeah.
So, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Just type in the Second Shift Review and just go crazy.
Yep.
Mention a movie you want us to review next, and we might do it. So, we'll see you next time.